Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to explore a concept that's often misunderstood, sometimes ignored, but incredibly relevant: agnosticism. Is it a religion? Is it a form of atheism? Is it indecision? Or is it something deeper? In this video, we'll unpack what agnosticism really means, where it comes from, and why it still matters today. Let's dive in. What is agnosticism? Let's start with a definition. Agnosticism is the view that the existence or non-existence of God or any ultimate reality is unknowable. The word comes from ancient Greek, a meaning without, gnosis meaning knowledge. So, agnostic literally means without knowledge, but more precisely, without certain knowledge about the divine. An agnostic doesn't say God exists or God doesn't exist. They say, I don't know and maybe I can't know. Agnosticism isn't a belief. It's a position on knowledge. It's not about faith. It's about epistemology, the study of what we can know and how we know it. Is it just another word for atheism? A common misunderstanding is that agnosticism is just soft atheism. But actually, they're very different things. Atheism is about belief. I don't believe in God. Agnosticism is about knowledge. I don't claim to know if God exists. Interestingly, a person can be both an atheist and an agnostic. I don't believe in God, atheist. But I also don't claim to know for sure, agnostic. Similarly, one could be a theistic agnostic. I believe in God, but I admit I can't prove it. So agnosticism doesn't sit between theism and atheism. It addresses a different question. Not what you believe, but what you think you can know. A brief history of agnosticism. The term agnosticism was coined in the 19th century by British biologist Thomas Huxley, a contemporary of Charles Darwin. But the idea is much older. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates famously said, "The only thing I know is that I know nothing." That's agnostic thinking at its core, an acknowledgement of the limits of human knowledge. Later, skeptic philosophers in the Hellenistic era argued that true knowledge is impossible and we should suspend judgment. In that sense, agnosticism isn't new. It's part of a long tradition of intellectual humility. What does it mean to be agnostic? Being agnostic doesn't mean you're confused, lazy, or indecisive. It means you recognize that certainty is rare, especially when it comes to ultimate questions. Agnostics separate belief, what you're willing to accept, from knowledge, what you can justify with reason or evidence. An agnostic might say, I'm open to the idea of a higher power, but I don't claim to know, and I'm okay with not knowing. That might sound unsatisfying to some, but for others, it's liberating. It means living with questions instead of rushing to answers. It means admitting that mystery exists and perhaps always will. Agnosticism in today's world. So, where does agnosticism stand today? In a world full of religious extremism on one side and militant atheism on the other, agnosticism offers a third way, a quieter, more introspective path. More and more people, especially younger generations, are identifying as spiritual but not religious, not sure, or simply none of the above. These aren't necessarily atheists. Many are agnostic. They're open-minded, skeptical, and searching. Agnosticism fits this mindset. It says, let's be honest about what we don't know. And that kind of honesty is rare and powerful. So, what is agnosticism? It's not a religion. It's not atheism. It's not indecisiveness. It's a way of thinking that embraces uncertainty. It's about staying open to truth, even if it never fully reveals itself. Being agnostic means saying, I don't have all the answers, and maybe that's okay. In a world that often demands black and white thinking, agnosticism dares to live in the gray and finds peace there. If this video gave you something to think about, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whatever you believe or don't believe. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay humble, and keep asking big questions.